Hello, welcome to Personal Development with Kuseme Ise. So, this program is aimed at helping you, yes, you watching me right now. It is aimed at helping you to become the best version of yourself. So, we are going to be bringing in different topics in personal development that is targeted towards helping you get the best results out of your life goals. Today, being the very first episode, we are going to explain what personal development is, the benefits, the importance, the different types, different areas of personal development, and the benefits, like I said earlier, everything that has to do with personal development. In subsequent episodes, we are going to be talking about specific subject areas that relates to personal development. So, welcome once again to this program. My name is Kuseme Ise. Stay tuned to this station and enjoy and learn from this episode. So let's begin by defining what personal development is. Actually, there is no generally acceptable definition, just like every other word or phrase, but there is an understanding as to what personal development is. So, personal development are the series of activities, series of programs, series of steps that you take in order to get better, in order to be a better person. The steps could be targeted towards your finances, your career, your education, your spiritual life, and any other aspect of your life. But the aim of personal development is always to be a better person, to be well informed, to have more confidence, and to have better and more productive results. Now that we know what personal development is, let us move straight to the three aspects of personal development. So there are different aspects of personal development, but I was able to categorize them into three broad aspects. We have the spiritual, we have the physical, and we have the mental. What does spiritual personal development entail? This entails you taking series of activities, series of steps towards developing your spiritual life. What do I mean by this? Okay, as Christians, we have different rules, different commandments in the Bible that the Bible has commanded. We have the Word of God. We also listen to the Word. We read the Word, and we know exactly what we ought to do as a child of God. However, circumstances or situations may deter us from acting the right way sometimes, or living a life purely acceptable to God. So when you begin a spiritual personal development journey, it means that you're taking deliberate and conscious steps and efforts towards getting your relationship right with God. So you're going to be more conscious about the things you do. You're going to take your spiritual activities more seriously. You're going to pray more. You're going to worship more. You're going to read more of the Word just to get to understand and know the person of God. So, when you begin on a spiritual personal development journey, it enhances your relationship with God. You get to know God for who He is and not based on what you hear from other people. The benefit of spiritual personal development is that you are much more happy and much more in tune with your Creator. Have you noticed that whenever you live right, whenever you're deliberately avoiding sin and temptations, overcoming temptations, and living right with God, have you noticed that you are much more happier, much more fulfilled? Have you noticed? You're going to be at peace with your inner self and with your Creator. That is for spiritual personal development. The second one is physical personal development. What do I mean? Physical personal development is when you begin series of activities to take care of your physical body. as we all know, your body is the temple of God. So, if your body is a temple, you ought to treat it with reverence. So you ought to take good care of it. You ought to, everything that you know that is not good for the temple of God shouldn't get into your body. You have to watch the things you eat, so you will begin to eat healthy. You will have to take care of your body, so you will begin to exercise. You're going to watch every single thing you do, so your appearance will matter to you, the way you dress, the way you appear. So those are the things that physical personal development covers. Okay, let's now talk about mental personal development. We have heard so much about our mental space. So you're being advised at all times to guard your mental space, because whatever you put in it, that is what you will draw from, and that is what will guide your actions and your reactions to things. So when you are on a journey of mental personal development, it means that you are consciously watching the things you do to improve your mental space. You're going to watch the things you take in, that is the books you read, the movies you watch, the things you see with your eyes. You're going to protect your mental space. You're going to consciously work towards avoiding negativity, because when your mental space is guarded, you will not easily be distracted by what is happening out there or what people are saying. There are so many things that has to do with mental personal development, and in subsequent episodes we are going to be bringing specific topics on what you should do and the things in general that you should do to better develop your mental space. Now that we know all the three aspects of personal development, you can decide to say that, okay, I'm going to take the three aspects. I'm going to begin my journey considering the three aspects of personal development. Or you can say, all right, this month I'm going to focus on the spiritual. Next month I'm going to focus on the physical. And other months I'm going to focus on the mental. Okay. Or you can actually just begin all the three aspects of mental development at once. Why is it that Kuseme Ise is asking you to begin a personal development journey with her? Why is personal development important? What are the benefits? Okay, there are several benefits of personal development, but for the sake of this program and because we have limited time to share information, I'm going to just tell you about five benefits of personal development. The first one is that it helps you receive clarity of vision. It gives you more clarity of vision. This is because when you begin a personal development journey, you're going to do things like setting goals, identifying who you are, becoming self-aware, and with all of that, you get clarity of vision, purpose, and where you are headed in life. Because you're going to be doing things that will cause you to be self-aware. Who am I? Where am I going? What is my goal in life? What is my ultimate purpose in life? It is going to make you have clearer vision, clearer purpose, and clearer aim, clearer direction to bring about ultimate personal fulfillment. That is number one benefit of personal development. The second benefit of personal development is that it helps you become a much more productive person at work or in business. This is because when you begin to work on your mental space, you're going to imbibe habits that will help you guard your mind and to become a more positive person. That way, you have better disposition to life, better disposition to the affairs of life, and you have a better attitude towards the challenges that you face at work. Overall, you're going to be much more productive. That is what personal development does for you. The third benefit of personal development is that it boosts your self-esteem. You become more confident because you're self-aware, because you now know who you are in Christ. You now know what your purpose is in life. You now have goals for your life. You become self-aware. You will no longer compete with others. You will no longer compare yourself with others. You're going to be more self-aware. That way you're more confident. You know where you're going. You know that you are on this race alone. You're not looking at left or right. You're not being distracted. You have more confidence in yourself and more confidence in the fact that what God has started in your life, He will be faithful to complete it. That is what personal development does for you. Another benefit of personal development is that it gives you a positive mindset, a positive disposition towards life. Like I said earlier, when you have a positive disposition towards life, you don't get tired, you don't get discouraged, you don't get depressed at any situation around you, because your eyes is on the goal. You have a target, you have a plan, and all you care about is working out that plan. There is a popular saying that when you have a plan and you have a reason, a very strong reason for that plan or that goal, you will always find a way to execute it, no matter the challenges. That is what personal development does for you. I hope you're still here with me. I hope you're learning something from this program. Do not go away. Stay tuned and keep learning with me. The last benefit of personal development I want us to know today is that personal development helps you break out of chains. It helps you break out of limitations. It breaks the chain, it breaks the barrier of limitation that you had earlier in life. What do I mean? You will begin to discard so many limiting thoughts that you had before. The things that you say to yourself, I can't do it. By the books you read, the messages you listen to, the activities you begin to do, you're going to have more confidence in yourself. You're going to be more deliberate about your life. You are going to have more belief. Like, you're going to believe in yourself and the things you can do. So all those things that before you could say, I don't think I'm going to do it. Personal development will give you the help you need, the push you need to be able to leave all the limiting thoughts behind you. Okay. Maybe, let's say that maybe you don't really get me clearly. I'm going to cite instances. I'm going to give you examples that you would use to understand what mental liberation means in personal development. So we are going to take a short break now, and when we come back, we're definitely going to talk about my story, the different stories that has to do with, or the different examples that you need to know about your personal development and mental liberation. Stay tuned, don't go away. We will be right back.
We often forget that a strong society is built on strong family, and strong families are built on strong marriages. That's why we are introducing this program to you called Relationship Matters.
Welcome back to Personal Development with Kuseme Ise. Before we went on the break, we were talking about the last benefit of personal development that we identified, which is mental liberation. And I promised I was going to give instances of how you can understand what mental liberation is. I'm going to use myself as a case study. So here goes my story. While I was at the university, I studied law in my undergraduate degree. So before I actually started my year one, I had spoken to different law students who were already in the faculty studying. I spoke to them and I needed to get their feedback as to how studying law is, what is it like, are you enjoying it, or So the feedback they gave me was that law degree is hard though, you know. The course content is very bulky, and the lecturers don't give you the grades that you deserve. So no matter how you write, no matter what you write, it's very difficult to still give you a C. You know, it's not that easy to study law. So I went into the department, I went into the faculty of law with that mindset already. As you know, that is very limiting. That is mental captivity. I went into the faculty of law thinking that, okay, as they say, law is difficult. So the highest I can probably come out with is a second class lower. If I try better, I will struggle to get a second class upper. But I'm not going to kill myself. After all, it's difficult. The content is bulky. There's nothing I can do. That was how I started my journey in law faculty, with that limitation in mind. So what happened? All my courses, all the studies, my exams, I could only struggle to make a B grade, which is like 60 over 100. No matter what I do, I wouldn't make more than a B. Sometimes I'll make a C. But I was very comfortable with my B. After all, people were having C's, and you know, the people that had A's, I'll look at them and say, wow, you must be very exceptional. You must be very unique, special. You are terrific. To have an A in law faculty, wow. So, like, that's how I was throughout my first 100 level to my 400 level. But you know, after a while, speaking to my colleagues that used to have A grades, I discovered that there is no much difference between an A student and a B student. The only thing is attention to detail. I was like, okay, no problem. I would give it a try. That was already in my final year, year 5. So I began to give much more attention to the details when I'm writing my assignments and when I'm taking my exams. You know what happened? I began to make A grades. In my year 5, I was making A's as if, the thing is, I wasn't doing anything so different from what I used to do when I made B's, but I was much more deliberate. This time I said, okay, I want to have A's. I began to think of the possibility of having A grades. It wasn't impossible to have A's. So let me try. Let me give it a try. Let me give an extra push. Let me give an extra step. So I began to pay more attention to detail. And my results came out. I had A's. In fact, in my project dissertation, I had an A. That is a whooping 30 over 30. Because projects are normally 30, you know. And that was 30 over 30. Me, who would have thought? When I was always comfortable with my B and thought I'm naturally a B student, so nobody should stress me. But I had an A. So throughout my studies in the Faculty of Law, my 500 level result was the best. Okay, I proceeded to the Nigerian Law School. At first, I didn't plan on making a first class when I went there. Actually, during my time, I went to the Nigerian Law School in 2016-2017 academic session. And during those days, it used to be very difficult to get first class in Nigerian Law School. And very few students used to have it. Actually, no one from my university had a first class in law school before. So we all went feeling like, normal thing, let's at least pass. Let us at least pass and move forward in life. We don't care about the first class. After all, nobody from my university ever had it. So why aim for something that looks impossible? Okay, I went to the law school with the aim of just passing through the school and being called to bar. Let me just be a lawyer at once. After like 6 years of studies, let me just be a lawyer. So I began to listen to my lecturers. They began making us understand that having a first class was not so difficult. They told us to begin to prepare our minds to think of what we want to achieve. What grade do you want? Think of it. Whatever you believe, you can achieve. If you believe it, you can achieve it. One of those days in class, the lecturer said, why don't you write down the grades that you want? Why don't you just write it down? Try it. It's not, you don't have anything to lose. Write it down and work towards getting it. So when I got back to the hostel, I was like, there is no harm in writing down A's, and probably later I don't have A's. The worst that can happen is that I'll have a 2-1 or I'll have a 2-2. Actually, to have a first class in law school as at then, you needed to score an A in all the courses. So there are 5 courses in law school and you need to have 5 A's. If you have 4 A's and 1 B, that means it's a second class upper. If you have 4 A's and 1 C, that is a second class lower. So to make a first class in law school, you need to have 5 A's. Wow. I went back to my hostel that day. I wrote down all my courses and I wrote A beside them. I wrote 70, I wrote 75, I wrote all of them were A grades. I put it in my Bible, I kept it beside my pillow. Every morning when I'm praying, I wake up, pray, I remove the paper and look. Sometimes I would doubt, but the more I looked at those grades, the more I saw the possibility. I began to do every single thing that my lecturer said I should do, that they advised students to do. I began to do every single one of them. Should I shock you? I came out to the first class. How? Me, a random girl, a person that was convenient with a B grade. How did you score 5 A's in your 5 courses? It was a miracle. It seemed like a miracle, but when I looked back, I didn't really do anything different. Every other student read as much as I did. But you know what? The difference was that I believed that I could make an A, that I could make a first class. And I started working towards it. It was first internalized in my mind. That's why I'm talking about mental liberation. When you think in your mind that you cannot do it, there is nothing that will make you do it, because deep down you can't do it. Your mind says you can't do it. So there's a popular scripture that says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I know you recite it, but do you believe? Do you believe you can move mountains? Do you believe that you can heal the sick? Do you believe that you are the head and not the tail? Do you believe that you are above and not beneath? Do you believe that lines are falling in pleasant places for you? Do you believe it in your heart that whatsoever you touch is blessed, that the work of your hands are blessed? Do you believe that you can lend to nations? When the Bible talks about lending to nations, it doesn't naturally have to do with lending money to nations. If God gives you solution to the problems in life, nations will seek for that wisdom. Nations will seek for that solutions. Nations will pay you to lend them that solutions. That is what lending to nations mean. Do you believe? Any promise that God has for you in the scriptures, you first have to believe. If you believe in your heart and confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, you will be saved. So the Bible acknowledges the fact that you have to first believe and then confess, and then you will have whatsoever you confess. I hope you're learning from this program. I hope you're learning from this series. Today, like I said, we're just talking about personal development and the benefits. So I'm explaining what mental liberation means to you. So in that story now, the chains were broken. I made the first class as the very first person from my university for over 20 years. No one had made a first class from law school from my university. Why? Was it because they were not intelligent? Of course they were very intelligent. So what happened? Well, I wouldn't know. But the thing is, what I know is that my mind was liberated. I believed that I could make a first class. And that happened. I made a first class. And you know what? After then, I began to teach people. I began to teach my younger ones, the people that came after me, that it was possible. I began to share information on what I did so that I could attend that first class. And you know what? Every other year in law school, students from my university come out with first class. That is because we were mentally liberated. So what is it that you want to do? What is it that you think you cannot do? I challenge you today. Think about it that you can do it. Be mentally liberated. Do not have any chains. The only thing standing between you and that your goal, between you and that your dream, is just your mind. Liberate your mind today. Begin this personal development journey with me, and you will achieve it. That does not mean that you will not face challenges. That does not mean that you will not see failure. Of course, you will not get 100% results from day one. But it means that you begin a step every day and you do at least one thing that would lead you forward to your goal. That is the law of compounding effect. What does the law of compounding effect say? The law of compounding effect is that you would only get the result of your actions after you have done series of steps that leads to that result. You will not see that result today, but you will see it later in future, and when you look back, you will ask yourself, what exactly did I do to achieve all of this? The law of compounding effect says, take one step at a time, one little step at a time towards your goal every day. And after a while, the kind of results you will achieve, you will not even think that it was that little thing you did, but it was compounding, and you will end up achieving that great result that you want. For instance, if you want to lose 50 pounds and you just say, oh, I want to lose 50 pounds. So you start exercising. You exercise 5 hours a day for 1 month because you want to lose 50 pounds. And probably that 1 month you lost 20 pounds because of so much effort. And you were tired after 1 month. You began to do the things that you used to do before the exercise. You began to eat unhealthy, to not exercise anymore. Let me tell you that you're going to go back and you'll be worse than you started. But you know what? If another person also wanted to lose 50 pounds but gave himself 1 year target and said, I am going to exercise 30 minutes every day to achieve my goal. Do you know that at the end of 12 months, looking at the two individuals, the person who exercised at least 30 minutes a day for 1 year would achieve greater results than the person who just did everything, exercised for 5 hours a day for just 1 month and went back to where she was when she first started. That is what the law of compounding effect does for you. So, what is that thing that you want to do? Is it that you want to go for your postgraduate studies? Is it that you want to start a family? Is it that you want to improve at your job, in your business? Start today. Begin to do something, one thing that will lead you closer to that goal every day. And you will see great and amazing results at the end of 1 year or 6 months, as the case may be. I hope you've learned something from today's series. I'm going to be bringing more specific topics in subsequent series, subsequent episodes, and I hope that you're staying tuned to this station so that you will not lose any of our insights on personal development. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Thank you for watching. My name is Kuseme Ise, like I said, and I'll be bringing subsequent episodes. I actually have a YouTube channel where I share more insights on education, career advancement, and personal development. There, I share insights to so many people that are looking forward to achieve different goals in life. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Kuseme Ise so that you will not miss all the insights that I share on my channel. Also follow me on all social media platforms, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, all at Kuseme Ise. Till I come your way in my next episode, do not forget, the Bible says that whatsoever you put your mind to do, you shall achieve. And the Lord is willing to give you that plan that you have. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.